friends, please welcome Manu Gulati, and she is a school teacher in one of the Delhi government school. She has been in US in the US for as a Fulbright scholar, and she also, if you know, you might have seen some pictures shared by many people. She is also youngest teacher to win national award. What was that, Manuji?
Yeah, it was National Award for Teachers. Yes, yes.
National Award for
You're
Teacher.
right.
It was rewarded
Yes.
recently for 2017, right?
Yeah, for 2017. Yes. So I was conferred with that award this year. Yeah.
Okay. So welcome Manuji to the call.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Aditya.
I will let you introduce yourself a little bit to the audience in the call, please.
Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Manu Gulati, and I'm working as an English language teacher in a government school of Delhi. I am also working as a mentor teacher with the Delhi government, and I have almost 14 years of teaching experience. So I initially joined in a private school, and after 2 years, I switched over my journey to a government school of Delhi. As far as my education is concerned, I've pursued Masters in English Literature and also Masters in Education. I have qualified the National Eligibility Test for the post of Assistant Professor in a university. And currently I'm pursuing my PhD from Central University here in Delhi, which is Jamia Millia Islamia. And the topic of my research is how to enhance the listening and speaking skills of students of Delhi government schools. So just trying to contribute my small bit to the public education system in Delhi.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for a nice introduction. And so, so let's start with your role. You are as a school teacher, and you have been teaching for 14 years. So, what is your present role as a school teacher, as well as with the present Delhi government, and how this has been changed for last couple of years?
Okay. So basically, I'm an English language teacher and have been teaching English for the past couple of years. Currently, for the past 2.5 years, I have been working as a mentor teacher with Delhi government. And this mentor teacher program is basically a program which focuses on enhancing the on-site academic and pedagogic capabilities of a teacher. So what I'm doing as a mentor teacher currently is that I am facilitating workshops and providing on-site academic support to teachers of 5 of my mentee schools. I'm organizing workshops for them, especially for English language teaching. And so the difference is that now we are trying to understand the grassroots challenges that a teacher is facing in a government school. So with that need analysis, with the challenges that a teacher is facing, we are trying to provide support to the teachers of the school. So basically, it's peer collaboration, it's peer learning, where teachers are providing support to teachers. So that's the role of a mentor teacher. We actually learn from each other. We prepare supplementary learning material in consultation with other teachers. So it's an in-house thing. It's very different from somebody coming from outside and actually training the teachers. It's not that. So we are teachers from within the system, and we have been in the system for a very, very long time. Yes. So we know what challenges a teacher faces. So this kind of a mentor teacher program is very different from the training programs that we used to have earlier. Like earlier, we used to call XYZ from, people from other departments. People who were not even aware of what kind of problems at the basic level the teachers are facing. So if somebody doesn't even know the problem the teachers are facing, how can you imagine that person to bring an overhaul in the system? I hope I'm able to make my things clear. So this is kind of an in-house training program where the teachers were selected from the department itself through a very tough and a stringent process. We had exam, we had psychological tests, we went through group discussion, and after that a pool of 200 mentor teachers were selected. So currently I'm a mentor teacher with Delhi Govt.
All right. Yeah.
So basically I'm an English language teacher. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really good to know, and so it's totally different than earlier program which were provided to the teachers, right?
Very different. I
Okay.
always say a thing when it comes to teacher training that initially it was a very linear kind of a teacher training. Now it's cyclical. That's what I always say. Linear means no, we are just moving in a straight line. We are not taking feedback. We are not doing need analysis. We are not understanding the challenges. It's a one line pattern that goes on. Now it's cyclical. You begin with understanding the need of the teacher. You move ahead with implementing the program. You take the feedback from the teacher. The feedback then takes you to the need again. It's a cyclical process.
Yeah, because I know some of my friends, they joined they joined their schools as teacher, but they used to go for the training just I believe at the beginning of their term, and then that's it. That's all for them.
Yeah.
So recently you have been very
yeah.
recently you have been very busy with one of the conferences recently organized, which is the Asia Summit on Education and Skills. So can you brief us what this conference is and who organizes and who are the participants in this conference?
Yeah, it is one of the biggest conferences Aditya, that has been actually organized by India Didactics Association. And it was the Asian Summit on Education and Skills, and almost 20 plus countries participated. Most of them were developing countries, but there were countries like Germany, which were from outside Asia, the Cambridge, British Council, many different educational organizations, they participated. Different departments across India also participated. So it was basically a place, it was a hub, it was a place where different educational stalwarts, ministers, different stakeholders, they got a chance to interact with each other. They got a chance to learn more and more about what are the different practices that are going on across globe, which relates to education and skills.
Yes.
So there were panel discussions that were very useful for teachers, for different people that relate to this field.
Okay, so this conference happens every year in different countries, or is how is it being organized?
Yes. This conference this time was hosted by Delhi Govt. So with great pride, I say that it was Delhi Govt which hosted this conference this year. This was the 10th India Didactics Conference. So this was the 10th year they organized this conference. And as I said, that there were ministers, education ministers from different countries that participated. So we got a chance to listen to the positive interventions that have been taken up by different countries in the field of education.
Yeah. So were there any participants, any other teachers from other states, other schools as well?
Yes, there were teachers from across India. There were teachers from different states. So I got a chance to meet and interact and learn from different teachers from different parts of India. Yes.
So how was their opinion about recent educational reforms in Delhi? Were they aware of or not aware of? How they respond to that? Because you are well known among the people.
They were completely mesmerized. I mean, Delhi Govt had actually put up a stall of happiness curriculum, and with great pride I say that Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and the Minister of Education, Mr. Manish Sisodia ji, he was a part of the first panel discussion that took place at the inaugural ceremony of the conference, and he gave a very clear-cut vision of what this whole idea about Delhi education revolution is, what we all intend to do as a team, what is our vision, what is our focus, do we actually intend to produce many more doctors, engineers, or are we moving towards understanding the inside world of the child? So from moving to academic excellence that is there in Delhi government schools to the happiness curriculum. So he discussed a lot about the transformation that is taking place for the past 3 years in respect to Delhi government schools. And so we had a happiness curriculum stall, and people from different countries, people from different states of India, they were so mesmerized, they were so moved that they actually wanted to implement the same in their own country, which is a big thing. It's not ordinary. I got a chance to interact with the ministers of different countries, so I would like to quote here what His Excellency Minister of the Education Minister of Afghanistan. I got an opportunity to interact with him. I also tweeted this. He said that he strongly believes that happiness curriculum can actually ease out the stress of the students in Afghanistan schools, the stress that they actually face because of the political turbulence in Afghanistan. Now see, this is a very powerful statement when it comes from an education minister of a country. So that was Delhi government's role. So we were portraying the happiness curriculum.
Wow, very very good to know. And right now, at present in developed countries and in many of the countries, the government is more focused on the mental health program. But our country, India, is not there yet. But this happiness curriculum, I might be wrong, but can be definitely equivalent to the mental health program and making you feel happy, and the happiness will kill the anger. So anger is really anger and egos. That's really, it's evil. So the happiness curriculum is almost implemented for a month. If I'm right, it was introduced in September.
Yeah.
So do you see any change among students, among kids?
A lot of change has taken place in the past one and a half months since the time, like it was inaugurated in the month of July. I mean, it was launched in the month of July. And after that, we've seen a sea change in the behavior of students. So see, these things are noticed by the teachers at a very finer level. We are there with the child for the entire day. So we are basically, as a mother, as a father, as a guide, as a philosopher, as a friend. So when we get a chance to interact with them, we understand the different levels that they have actually got on to with this happiness curriculum. So I would like to share that all the schools in Delhi, all the students from class KG till class 8, they have one period of happiness every day. Mm-hmm. And there are 4 different components of this happiness. So now you asked whether there's a change or not. So I recently interacted. This is the exam time that's going on in school. So I got a chance to interact with students few days back. It was their social science exam, so I would like to quote an example here. And I asked them that how was the exam, and everybody was like brimming with energy that it went very well. I was very surprised why social science exam is very well. So I said it is a vast subject, I know. What made you say that it went very well, or what really happened that you are so happy today? So the students said that we are now able to concentrate more. We are now able to focus more. The learning process is more easy now. So see, concentration, focus, learning becomes easier. All this, and they gave the credit of all this to happiness curriculum and basically to the mindfulness, which is an integral part of the happiness curriculum that is launched by the Delhi government. So that's the first component, that mindfulness has taken place. So when mindfulness has taken place, the students themselves accept it, that it eases out their stress. It helps them become more focused. They're able to concentrate more. So which is wonderful.
Hello, Manuji. This is Ramanpal here from New York. First of all, congratulations.
Hello, how are you? Yeah.
And first of all, thank you for the great service that you are doing. तो पहले आपको मुबारकबाद देता हूँ, उसके बाद आपको thank you बोलता हूँ.
Thank you so much. Thank you. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है सबसे बात करके. Thank you. जी, बताएं. Go ahead.
So madam, मैं खुद गवर्नमेंट स्कूल से पढ़ा हूँ और मतलब I've been from केंद्रीय विद्यालय.
अरे वाह.
So I can appreciate the kind of difficulties that the teachers sometimes face in terms, although it was a central school, I can say. But I'll cut my question short, madam. The thing is, you mentioned that you are kind of building your knowledge base, of learning, need analysis, and then learning, and then need analysis. It's a cyclic thing, right?
Right,
And
right. G, G, G.
in a way, you are actually doing a kind of a social service. Like although it's part of your work now and funded by the government, but it's
Right.
kind of a social service that you're spreading and then building your knowledge base on how teachers should be educating, or how the curriculum is to be developed. So my question is that
Right.
are you thinking, or is the government thinking of making a kind of a platform where whatever learnings that you have done, you are doing in Indian context, that is
Yeah.
reusable by other government teachers. Like maybe the other government teachers are good, but they are not they're not that much getting the support from their own governments, but they may be willing to learn, right? Willing to adapt to these
Absolutely.
different methodologies. So is there a plan, or can you take
Yes.
this idea that you build a kind of an infrastructure so that other teachers can utilize that, and then get the advantage of the learnings that you're building?
Yeah, it's a wonderful idea. We have already in fact, we have been working on this for long. It's a wonderful idea. I can also take this ahead to the government of Delhi. We are already working on it. See, we have already prepared a core academic unit. In each school, there's a academic resource team that has been developed to share the best practices that are taking place in school. See, we strongly believe that it is very, very important that the good practices need to be shared. We just cannot keep ourselves in that shell where we proceed with just a very narrow or a fixed mindset. So what we do is, in that academic resource team, we all share the best practices. When we share our best practices, we prepare a pool of lesson plans. We share the best that we are doing within the school, with the teachers there in the school, also at the zonal level. So we move beyond the school, then we move at the district level, and then to the state level. See, like this, I'll take an example, like happiness curriculum. Now, everybody was so eager, and they were actually so inquisitive about this, that we have invited everyone. We have kept ourselves open to everyone outside Delhi, to everyone outside India, that we would be coming to you. You are most welcome. So we have not kept ourselves in those watertight compartments. In fact, we are already working on building a very strong collaboration with different universities. Like teachers have been visiting Singapore. It's first time in the history of the education system of Delhi that teachers were being sent to Singapore. It always used to be the fact that ministers used to visit different countries. So that is a platform where we are sharing our learning. Along with 5 other teachers from Delhi Government School, we were in US for the Fulbright program, like Aditya mentioned in the beginning. So from January till March 2018, we were there. So it was not just a one-sided thing. It wasn't that only we were learning from the US Department of State. We had a lot of interventions that we shared at their platform. So it's a very two-way process. It's very mutual. We're already working on it. And thank you for that suggestion. I'll actually take it forward. I welcome that suggestion. We're already working on it. Let us all together, we will all work more on it actually.
Thank you, madam. All the best.
Manu,
Yeah, please, please
Vijayalakshmi
go ahead.
here from Dallas. The question was, why did you make that shift from private school to government school, and what is the difference that you're seeing? And again, one more question is, like, do you believe the right government can make a huge difference to the education system of any state or even the country?
Okay. So your question had 2 parts. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll begin with the first one. Why I switched from a public school? It was a high-end private. It was a high-end private school in Delhi. After 2 years, I switched to a government school of Delhi, which is like the public education system, commonly known as in US. Because I strongly felt that, good education is not just a prerogative of the rich and the privileged. It is basically an inalienable right of every child in the country. My parents have been Delhi government school teachers. Now both of them are retired. So I saw them working for the Delhi government school children. So when they worked, I got very fascinated. I joined the government school system because I felt, because most of the children, they actually come to public education system to get good quality education. So if I am contributing a small bit to the public education system, it makes me feel that I am doing a task which is much nobler as compared to when I was in a private school. So that is how I felt like shifting from a private to a public school. Because every child, I believe, should get good quality education. So I just remember my father said this to me that, teachers like you should be there in government system. Private school children would have n number of resources. They are not first generation learners. They have a pool of things to support them. This is time to support the children in the public education system. So I hope I'm able to answer to the first part of the question.
Yeah, you were. I just have one more question related to that, is because there was no respect attached to government schools or government teachers before our government took over. At least that's what my understanding is. Most teachers were, though they were qualified, they were because of the opportunities that they didn't get, whatever, they were never in the forefront. So what made you still, make that shift?
So it's actually at every platform I'm asked that, there's a very stereotypical notion about government school teachers that, teachers in government schools do not work. But I would like to mention here, see, I made a shift because I was very much willing to take up those challenges. The initial part was, of course, a little difficult because, that sudden change from moving from a private education system to then a public one, it is a little difficult because looking at the challenges that one has to face as a teacher, like the socioeconomic background of the child, the otherwise also the infrastructure challenges that we face in schools. But see, I was always willing to be a teacher. I was never a forced teacher. So that made me move on. That made me move on. But for the past 3 years, it's like I'm so happy. I always say that I'm a proud Delhi government school teacher. I'm a happy government school teacher because last 3 years there has been an overhaul. There has been a paradigm shift in the way the government is focused on teacher professional development. So these are the things basically that normally create an unrest. Teachers feel that the government does not pose that faith in teachers. So, so these are certain things, the teacher-pupil ratio in schools, and there are many other challenges that actually stop a teacher from, moving ahead. But then these challenges, they need to be taken up. They need to be resolved. That is what our role is as a teacher.
Okay. And the second part of my question, the right government make a difference to the government schools?
I think the right government actually plays a pivotal role in bringing a change or in deciding what actually happens in government schools. People have this belief that teachers do not work. But if we see, answering to the question that you asked, the government actually decides on with the policies, and then that creates a ripple effect. That policies actually permeate at different levels, like policies for heads of schools, policies of how education would be taken up, policies of community involvement for the teachers, for the students. So different stakeholders, policies are for different stakeholders. What is the vision of the government? What the government emphasizes upon is actually trickled down to the level of different, team leaders, teachers, students, community, parents, and everybody. So what we do is basically, it comes down from the top level, and government decides whether autonomy can be given to someone or it just has to be a decision at the higher end. Like, I'll quickly take an example for the present government, what the present government is doing. Present government has uninterrupted faith in the teachers. If somebody puts that faith in me, I can go, I don't know how many extra miles to work for my department. So what kind of ideology, what kind of mindset the government has, that actually plays a very important role of the kind of work that teachers or heads of schools or students or parents do in school. So of course, I strongly believe in that. The government plays a very major role.
I would like to add
Yeah.
sub question to that part. Like you have been a school teacher for in the government school for 12 years, and you have seen the
Yeah.
different rulers. Did you notice any change in the governance in the past or in 12 years? How did the change occur? How do you see it?
Uh, there were changes at every level. So when I say every level, uh, so I would like to talk about that the current government, actually, the present government, is
Mm-hmm.
trying to transform the entire picture of government schools at two levels, the infrastructure level and at the effort level. So these are two things, like investing money and
Yes.
investing efforts. So when we talk about these two things, so I mentioned here how much one is willing to put in as the budget. So like for the present government, I can say that it's about 22.5% of the annual budget goes into education.
Mm-hmm.
No other state actually has that much of budget being decided to be spent on education. So a lot has been spent on infrastructure because, see, a broken down classroom often translates to broken self-esteem. So when the students actually are there in broken down classrooms, they are not very confident. So the first thing that the government started working upon was infrastructure. So like you asked, what was the difference in the previous years when I was a teacher? Like
Yes.
currently ICT labs have been established. There are swimming pools in our government schools. We have gyms. We have computer labs. We have smart classrooms. We have very good libraries. We have also got vocational libraries. So see, so we are working on the hardware. I mean, we as in like Delhi government. So it's working on the hardware. And along with that, they are also working, the government is also working on the software, which is like the learning outcomes of the children. So
Mm-hmm.
they are involving parents, they are involving school management committees to be there. Teachers are being trained in different parts of India and outside India. So a lot has been spent on teacher professional development. So the first thing is infrastructure. A lot is being spent on quality teacher professional development. At the third level, a lot is happening at the content level. I have never seen such changes in government schools earlier. See, the passion never dies, but when somebody acknowledges the work,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
you feel so motivated as a teacher. See, I have always been very passionate as a government school teacher. I was never sorry of being a government school teacher. But what really happens at the end of the day, if you are acknowledged for your work, if you know somebody gives a pat at the back, you know, the energy level, it boosts up manifold. Then I feel that I have to work day and night for this department. I have to bring a paradigm shift in the entire system. I can go to any extent to work for this. So that acknowledgement was very important. See,
Yep.
it's
Mm-hmm.
as simple as that. When you have trust and faith in for any member of your family, that it's a very mutual thing. You trust that person is going to give back a lot to you. So this government has put uninterrupted faith in teachers. As a teacher, I can very strongly say that I can go to any extent. I can work day and night for my schools, because the kind of acknowledgement that I'm getting, the platform that I'm getting as a teacher, I could have never imagined that these days would have been the days of my life. I don't know whether, I mean, people across, I mean, people overseas know that teachers in Delhi government schools, they are an integral part in decision making. Our voices were never heard. I mean, I was just another brick in a wall in a school. Now I am considered to be the pillar of the school. In fact, the pillar of the entire system. So see, from just being a brick in a wall to being considered as a pillar of the system that is being, dealt with or worked upon. So my role has changed drastically. I'm there in decision making. What else can I wish for as a teacher?
या और एक वन मोर लास्ट क्वेश्चन, जो अभी एसएमसी का इंट्रोडक्शन हुआ, कभी ऐसा नहीं लगता कि ये बाहर के लोग आके बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरफेरेंस कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि एसएमसीज में जो पेरेंट्स हैं और स्कूल टीचर एंड द प्रिंसिपल, दे ऑल देयर इन द स्कूल मैनेजमेंट कमेटी, कभी ऐसा नहीं लगा कि बाहर लोग ज़्यादा इंटरफेरेंस कर रहे हैं?
नहीं, देखिए वो एक पर्सपेक्टिव है कि किसको कैसा लगता है. द फर्स्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग टू बी मेंशन्ड हियर इज एसएमसीज का इलेक्शन होता है. It's not कि मुझे ये this is the person whom I really like the most and then I pick up that person or I ask that person to join the SMC. No, it's very well elected. तो जहाँ भी डेमोक्रेसी का रोल हो जाता है ना, वहाँ पे बहुत सारे ये जो ग्रजेस हैं वो अपने आप ही कहीं ना कहीं खत्म होने लग जाते हैं. So when everybody elects the SMC members, तो एसएमसी में कम्युनिटी का बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रोल है. ऑफ कोर्स ये मैंने यूएस में बहुत अच्छा सीखा कि हाउ स्कूल्स वर्क इन टैंडम विद द कम्युनिटी. तो यहाँ पे भी एसएमसीज का बहुत मेजर रोल चल रहा है. सो वी हैव हेड ऑफ स्कूल, वी हैव टीचर्स, वी हैव पेरेंट्स इन एसएमसी. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ कम्युनिटी है. सो पीपल माइट थिंक बट दैट्स नॉट द ट्रू केस. मुझे कभी दखल नहीं लगा बिकॉज दे हैव very fruitful suggestions that they give to the school.
Yes.
Because उनका जितना लिंक है ना कम्युनिटी के साथ, टीचर्स और हेड्स ऑफ स्कूल्स का उतना रिलेशन नहीं हो पाता. Because we are there in our classrooms. In fact, they are the people who are there in the community. So when community and school have to work in close contact with each other, it becomes very imperative that the parents have to be there. The community itself has to be there in the स्कूल मैनेजमेंट कमेटी. और अब तो रिसेंटली दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट ने एसएमसीज को बहुत एम्पावर किया है. दे हैव एम्पावर्ड हेड्स ऑफ स्कूल, दे हैव एम्पावर्ड नाउ द एसएमसीज कैन एक्चुअली ईच स्कूल मॉर्निंग शिफ्ट एंड इवनिंग स्कूल वुड बी गेटिंग 5 लाख रुपीज, जिसमें आप रिसोर्सेज अरेंज कर सकते हैं. यू कैन एक्चुअली टेक केयर ऑफ द ह्यूमन रिसोर्स. जहाँ टीचर्स की शॉर्टेज है, teachers can be called, special trainers can be called. Sky is the limit. SMCs को power दी है for the benefit of every child in that school, and it totally depends upon the enrollment. If a school has a high enrollment, then that school would be given more money. What else? What else do we need?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's really good to know about the SMCs. So, friends, if you have any other question, please unmute and ask.
Hi, this is Srijan. I'm driving. It might be just a little bit noisy. Well, I went to a private education system in India, and my school was a Catholic missionary school. Personally, I never felt they did a bad job in teaching us or giving us secular values or things of that nature. But I see nowadays that there's this trend among, like, within my own friends and within people whom I have known for so long, as if these schools have been like religious institutions. I mean, there's a really bad rhetoric. So, do you see any of it in Delhi, or how would you suggest? What are the steps to take to avoid something like that? Religion basically moving into schools.
So as far as, like, I'll talk about Delhi government schools. I think I won't be able to talk about other private schools because that's not in my, I am not very enclosed. So, like, talking about Delhi government schools, so we as teachers, we as, maybe as government or as teachers or as heads of schools, we all respect each religion. But like currently the focus is happiness curriculum. So happiness is our religion. We believe that every child has to be happy. So we are not promoting any particular religion. We are not promoting any, in that sense that we are promoting Hinduism or we are promoting Christianity. Like you said, when government changes or when one government takes over, so the ideology of the political party actually permeates into the education system. So how far that's, that is right or wrong. But as far as Delhi government schools they are concerned, I think happiness is our religion currently. So I don't think so. Any government school is promoting a particular religion, because we have prayers and we do morning prayers. We do talk about secularism. We do talk about our nation. We are imbibing those good values amongst our students. But as far as our schools are concerned, we are not laying stress on one religion over the other religion, because we, as a secular state, we believe that every religion is important, every culture is important. We strongly believe that we need to respect the faith and the entity of every child that comes to our school.
This is Akhil. Yeah, and congratulations and best wishes for all the good work you are doing. So I have one question. As part of transferring the teachers training knowledge to other states or other schools, are we digitizing the knowledge base, like creating courses or videos online on the internet?
Okay. So we would soon be working with a TV branch, basically, where we can actually see. We are already working on certain videos, but that we are doing in our personal capacity. The audios and the videos that of the teachers who've been doing incredibly well. So very soon, Government of Delhi would be having its TV branch, wherein by the teachers would be the teachers would be recorded, their lessons would be recorded, and that would be shared at different platforms with the teachers of other Delhi government schools, then with the teachers of different states, and probably most likely, so that the videos would be available on our website. So there's a mechanism with which we've already started working upon. I think it's in pipeline actually. So we strongly believe that whatever videos, whatever sharing has to be done, we need to share at different platforms. So the project is in pipeline, and very soon I think so it will be launched, where teachers would be recorded and the Delhi government school teachers themselves would be recorded, the positive interventions that they are taking up in schools, their work in respect to their subject, in respect to particular topics. It will be grade-wise. It will be in tandem with the curriculum that is there. So, like for example, if you take English, so I would be recording several videos. Some other teacher from other Delhi government schools, she would be recorded while she would be delivering. So these programs will be exchanged with teachers of Delhi government schools, also with teachers of different states, also overseas. So we have already started working on it. Maybe, very shortly we would be, launching that program.
We did not touch about the Fulbright scholars. If you can explain in a brief, what were the greatest learning you learned when you were in the US and then went back India, and you tried to implement those in Indian system?
Okay, so see, Fulbright program was basically a phenomenal journey for 6 of us, and it was the first time that all 6 teachers from India were from Delhi government schools. So this was a matter of great pride for us. So when we went there, the program focused at different levels. So it was, the first level was building upon our own academic excellence. Like we were given our subject-oriented workshops. Then also the pedagogic interventions that are being taken up by the American classrooms. We also got a chance to visit and see for ourselves the kind of practices that are taking place in American schools, the constructivist approach with which the American school teachers work, the kind of culture that prevails in the classroom, and how it is different from the culture that prevails in our own classroom. So when we came back with a vast knowledge And our focus was basically to filter, to adapt what we learned at the global level, to adapt the same at the local level. So that was the intent. So whatever we learned from the US system of education, we kind of adapted it to our own system and we started implementing it. So one of the very beautiful ideas and the differences that we could feel was that in American classrooms, the teachers don't move from one class to another class after the bell rings. The students move.
Yeah.
As compared to the Indian classrooms where teachers move after each period. So I tried this in 3 of my mentee schools. So in this case, it worked very well. It was basically an experiment which I started in my mentee schools, and also 5 other teachers who were there with me. In their subject areas, they have been trying a lot to implement what we learned from the American system of education, like how school works with community, what's the role of a teacher there, what kind of resources are created by the teacher, what kind of resources are created by the students there. So we have been trying to work on that. Not only that, we also got an opportunity to share the Fulbright learning with 200 mentor teachers very recently. So 6 teachers, when sharing their learning with 200 mentor teachers, who will actually transact the same learning in their zonal workshops to 50,000 teachers. And those 50,000 teachers, when they actually take it to their classrooms, so millions of children are actually impacted. They are positively impacted with that learning that we had in the American classrooms.
Yeah. One of the interesting things, when you started moving a student from one class to another class, did you see any change among them?
The rooms became very resourceful. I'll quickly give an example. When the teacher stays in the room for entire day, the teacher does not have to move his or her teaching aids. That room is the teacher's room, which can be a very resourceful room. The teacher from morning till afternoon can keep all the resources in that room, can actually take out and use the resources whenever required. For example, if a social science teacher is there in the classroom, so the social science teacher can have maps, globes, other things that are required. He or she will not have to carry all the aids to separate classrooms. Also, another benefit is students get a chance to move. That's the biggest benefit. I strongly believe that one has to be kinesthetic. The students must move after 40 minutes. They must stand up. That hustle bustle has to be there in school. Of course, it's a very mutual benefit. It's a win-win situation for both students and teachers. So I implemented in 3 of my mentee schools. Similarly, many other Fulbright scholars, they're already implementing their learnings here in Delhi Government School. In fact, we are sharing. And once we share, so many other teachers are also doing it.
This is Manu Gulati. I am calling in from Boston. And Manuji, we are really inspired and very proud of the work that you're doing. My question to you is, this inspiration is currently a one-way street. You are saying all the fantastic things and doing this great work, and we are truly inspired.
Thank you.
How can we be more engaged or helpful to this fantastic cause of raising the bar of education amongst our young in India, which you obviously are carrying all the load on your back, all the teachers in Delhi and beyond, obviously. But how can we be more engaged and how can we be more helpful?
Yeah. See, each one, all of you basically, you are strong assets for us. So when you say that you wish to accelerate the entire process, it shows your willingness. So we need willing people. And then you can probably decide at what level, in what way do you want to help. Like, for example, if like this phone call, like this radio, okay? So this is also helping spread the good word that's happening. I always say that I don't know why people have this stereotypical notion that teachers don't work in government schools. Teachers are doing incredibly well here. So what alumni meet we have, that would be in relation to your question. Like, तो अभी recently क्या हुआ है? See, there's an alumni of meet that is happening in Delhi government schools, where Delhi government is actually inviting its alumni to get together to relive those school memories. So what you can do, probably people in different states, you can spread the good word that's happening through maybe social media, or if you could spend some time in writing blogs, if you could share some time in spreading the good word. I don't know, you may be having close contact with people in your community, wherever you go, the workplace, the area where you live in. If you have community that can share common denominators, and with them you could share probably NGOs that are part of the system who can contribute, if not in if somebody could contribute adding to the physical resources that we have. We are always in dearth of I don't want to say that we welcome the funds that I hope I won't be sounding very demanding that way. But see, you can spread the good word through social media. You can spread the good word through Twitter. You can share the work that is being taken place in government schools by writing blogs, by spreading in a manner that if you could arrange, if you have close contact with people who have influential positions in society. See, they're under corporate social responsibility scheme. People are willing to look forward to places where they can donate. See, again, I say that it's a win-win situation. I went to nearby vicinity banks to ask for computers for my school. So that was perfectly okay. They anyhow had to spend their corporate social responsibility fund. And when I went to them, they said, yes, we anyhow have to spend this. If somebody has come to us, we are very willing to share our CSR funds with you. So my school got those physical resources. If you could help in any way in your efforts in the physical resources, we would be extremely grateful and thankful to the community out there who's supporting us, either in the physical infrastructure or maybe not in that way. We really need empowerment by your words.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that answer.
Thinking about more about the happiness curriculum, is there any plan, or how do you think the happiness curriculum is introduced in the higher education as well as graduate post-secondary education?
Of course, yes. I think every individual on this earth needs happiness curriculum. See, we are all facing n number of stresses in the life. We need not mention even that. Be it our family front, or be it our professional front, or be it the academic front that we are pursuing. I am also pursuing PhD, and then I'm also teaching in the morning, doing workshops. So it's very stressful altogether. Happiness curriculum should go at different levels. It has to be imperative for everyone, for every individual. So right now we've already begun it from KG till class 8, and there's huge demand. And I'll share one very good thing. So we don't have happiness curriculum from 9th onwards, but you won't believe most of the teachers in most of the Delhi government schools, they are actually doing it without it being mandatory for the students. It's very important for the PhD scholars. So, Abhi Honorable Deputy CM was addressing, he was at a public platform, and he expressed that when he goes to different schools, so when he asks about different subjects, कि आपको science का कुछ याद है, आपको maths का कुछ याद है, so children are a little hesitant कि हाँ ठीक है. When it comes to happiness curriculum wali class, everybody is like, we remember everything. You ask anything regarding the class, we know everything. We are so happy with the Minister of Afghanistan and with UAE delegates. We were there in a classroom in Delhi Government School 2 days back. He said on a very lighter note, yes, he said on a very lighter note that let us stop the happiness classes, and everybody was like, no, we cannot afford to do away with the happiness class. So see, and otherwise also what I was mentioning here was, whatever we learn in school, so like you learn algebra, you learn noun plus verb, or these tenses, or this is the algebra, this is tan theta, cos theta, or Ohm's law, or whatever you learn in different subjects. How many of us actually get a chance to use it when we move out of the school? This is $1 million question that I always ask. But as soon as we move out of the school, don't we have to be happy? Aren't we supposed to be happy? So we all need to be happy at all points of time. We can hire resources to study maths. We can hire resources to study English from other people. But can we hire anyone to give happiness to us? Not at all. I just put a question to all of you. Can we actually hire happiness? Now, let me ask a question that would make my stand more clear. Can you hire anyone else for your own happiness?
I would say no, it's just me. I have to look for happiness.
Exactly. You yourself can bring happiness to your own being. That is what the different components of happiness curriculum lead us to. Mindfulness, attentive listening, attentive breathing. We are just machines these days. It makes you realize that happiness curriculum makes you realize that you are an integral part of this cosmos. You are here for a purpose. You are here for a reason, and your entire being is very important. I would strongly suggest that you all should start, taking classes for happiness curriculum in US or in different parts of the world.
Is there anything you are unhappy about from present government?
First thing is, I'm never unhappy. So I am generally never unhappy. This present government has actually given me a lot of recognition. When I get a lot of recognition, unhappiness की तो कोई बात ही नहीं बचती फिर. I always put it on all the platforms where I share that I have received more than what I think I deserve. So if this is the last question, I would end with this line that with this government in power, I have always received more than what I think I have deserved. The kind of recognition, the kind of the way in which I am being empowered as a teacher, the way I am actually being instrumental in empowering my own students, the way I am actually being able to disseminate my innovative practices at different platforms with different teachers from within the system and also across globe. So I cannot say that I am at unrest with the present government. It's a long journey. They have been working phenomenally and exponentially well in the past 3 years. They have actually revolutionized the entire school education system. So I think if I keep contributing to what I am being expected of, to what I think that my contribution has to be into, I think that's a small help that I can contribute in the entire system. I am not unhappy at all. In fact, my voice, my tone, my tenure, the way I talk, I think I'm able to get the meaning across. How I always introduce myself that I'm a proud and a happy Delhi Government school teacher. I'm extremely happy. They're already working on empowering teachers. They're already working on empowering community, students, parents, heads of schools. And the most important thing is that my voice has to be heard. If I am just another brick in a wall, अगर मेरी कोई value ही नहीं है, अगर मेरे कहे हुए की कोई value नहीं है system में, I have a direct access to most of the people in the system. In fact, to all. I am heard of. मेरी बात को सुना जाता है. और बहुत अच्छे से उसको सुन के उसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया जाता है. So kudos to the present government, and I'm glad I'm a part of this system.
Yeah.
So
kudos
proud.
to present government. Kudos to teachers like you. Kudos to Atithi.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much, Manuji, for joining us.